my heartfelt condolences to all the bereaved families and wish them solace in their own hearts. And for those who are injured, I wish them a quick recovery. Unfortunately, whatever has happened in this country in a very short time has shown me and really made me to have a very heavy heart. Honorable Speaker, for those of us who live in the borderlines, we know much about what happens in our neighborhoods. You have seen what happened in Somalia. 30 years, 35 years down the line, up to now, it has never settled. You have seen what is happening in Congo, what is happening in Sudan, what is happening in Ethiopia. So the kind of things that is now happening in this country is actually worrying. It is right for the young men and women, the so-called GenZs, to do what they have done. Because for many in this country, Kenyans are actually very resilient people, very patient, people who understand, people who obey the law. But when the things are done and people not listened, these kind of issues, the consequences actually this kind of action. And therefore, I want to tell the young men and women, as much as we appreciate what they have done, they have woken us up. Some of us, some of the leaders have lost even their senses of feeling, are now back to their senses. And they know what is happening, what will happen in this country. When you see somebody who has been a minister the other day actually walking across borders, lost his kids, when you see mothers walking, crying with the children, then they don't know where to go, crossing borders, that is a time for those of us who witnesses that will know what peace means. And therefore, for the last 1 week, I've been hearing a lot of, popular, kind of statements. The leaders must take responsibility for the kind of, statement that we're making. It might be sweet today. You may be heard by your electorates. They might want to applaud you. But of course, when the consequence comes, when the action has been taken, and when this country goes to dogs, then that's the time you'll know whether you're a president, whether you're an MP, whether you're not, then we all feel the consequences of our actions. Honorable Speaker, one thing is actually, this country leadership is actually a country that is actually, leaders are actually reactive by nature. Even the president is actually reactive by nature. You only react to situations. And that cannot be able to help anybody. There has been a lot of problems in this country. People have been promised paradise. The young men and ladies today who are demonstrating have been told that once these governments come in, when we take the leadership, the youth will be employed, they'll be given money, the better education, jobs. But 1.5 years down the line, things have changed. The paradise that have gone has become a hell in the world. Youth are unemployed, people are employed, a lot of impunity being used. There's a lot of discrimination. Money is being looted left and right. The other day we were being told that the government made the coffers empty. Then suddenly in 1 year's time, people are carrying gun bags, money with their gun bags in Harambis. So where is this money coming from? If money has been looted by the previous regimes. Honorable Speaker, there's no doubt that this country, all of us, the leadership, must go back to the table and listen to one another. And the first and foremost thing that we need to talk about is for this country to heal, to come together and believe that we can do better. This is a very rich country. This is a very beautiful, that we love it. We have no other homes to go. So let us do this beautiful country to the dogs. Honorable Speaker, what is happening today is that everybody wants to make easy money to the advantage of the poor, to the advantage of disadvantaged people. Every leader wants to make money. The institutions, the oversight institutions, the parliament has been captured. We have been called in the State House, we have been called by your parties to do ABCD. We don't listen. You are elected by people. You are not elected by the president. You are not elected by your party leader. So every morning when there's a bill, you are summoned to party office or State House. You have been elected by people, not by the State House people or by your party leader. And the consequences of that kind of, blindly following the leadership, party leaders, and being so, obedient to the party is what we are now, the consequences that we are facing today. Bills have been done with impunity here in this office, these houses. Bills have been hashed. We are not even allowed to think, to reason together. The bills that we are making these houses, the two houses, is actually being hashed every hour. We have been told to say yes, aye, and I will say aye. And this is the consequence today we are facing. Had we not listened to, have we listened together? Have we listened together? When the problems started, the time the house levy issues came, we all talked about these issues. The people complained, the youth complained, everybody complained. The roadside pronouncement of projects where the money is not even available. The jobs that we said we are going to create, which is not achievable. Then you expect this kind of business and this kind of upheavals to happen. Honorable Speaker, I think what is happening, what I want to tell is, if this kind of situation continues, there will be upheaval in this country. The jobs we are looking for will not be available. Crime will increase. Kenya is sending its soldiers to Haiti. Haiti is actually a country 7,000 kilometers from here. The consequences of what's happening today, where our officers are going there, the police officers, is because of this kind of business. The youth there was upheaval. The government, the country is taken over by goons. It's rape and robbing people. Therefore, I want us to learn from the mistakes that we have done and to correct these things. Honorable Speaker, as it is, we need to have a major change. Because, as I said, our oversight institutions have failed this country. Anti-corruption, I don't know who will oversight anti-corruption. Parliament, I don't know who will oversight the parliament. Office of the DPP, you see cases, corruption cases taking too long. The Golden Bag corruption, that has taken many years, and everybody wants free. Those guys who, I don't know, looted a lot of money, I don't know those dams, they have gone free. They've been released by DPP office and the judiciary. Parliament is making punitive laws. And corruption is taking just dragging on the legs, on the feet. So we need an oversight institution that oversees the oversight institutions like Parliament and all these things. I don't know who will do it, whether it will be done by Ombudsman. I don't know we're going to have an institution that will oversee all of us. But as it is, I think this country has failed to reason together. Honorable Speaker, One thing is actually, now that the president has told us, Kenya is actually undergoing a revolution. It might be, you might see it as, as a joke. But let's say what's happening now is a revolution. If you remember what happened in the Arab Springs, what has happened in Sudan, what has happened in Egypt, this is the kind how it is started. And I want to tell young ladies and men who went to the street, we applaud them for waking us up. But I think I want them to, actually, because they have been infiltrated by goons. Whatever objective they may have, the goons have infiltrated them. And this kind of mess, they're looting in the town. The shops they're breaking, and the shop that is being looted is actually belongs to the GenZs. Those who sells the electronics, those who sell the mobiles, are all young men and women. So have we lost or gained anything so far? We lost so much. Honorable Speaker, one thing I want to say is this country needs healing. We need to talk about taxation policies, because the biggest thing we are doing. The president one day wakes up and announced tax increase. You announce the next day tax levies, fuel levy increase. You announce the next day roads being constructed, road levy, fuel levy. And anything that you tax, especially when it comes to fuel and all these things, you expect to affect everybody across the board. We might need to raise money, yes, we have no problem with it. But you must at least also weigh the alternative options. This country is a very rich country. We have not explored on agriculture. This country actually is underdeveloped. Kenya has now become a consumer. We only consume food that we import from our neighborhood. We have beautiful land, potential land that is idle. Men and women have grabbed big land because it's excess. They don't even know what to do with it. They are waiting for a day that they can sell it at higher prices. The money and the other Kenyans who could produce food don't have the land. So I think we need a land distribution again. We must go back to the drawing board. People who have excess land should give back land to people who can plant. The young men and women who are not employed, if they get the land, they're going to tilt it and produce food and employ themselves. For those who have excess land, please, we want this country, these people to go give back land. The land belongs to Kenyans. If we want to have, as a bank for future harvest or getting more money, then I think it's the right time that we do land redistribution. Honorable Speaker, one other thing is actually, as I said, we need to have creation of employment. Employment does not mean that people must be employed only in offices. Employment can become many ways. Self-employment. If you give these same young men and women some money to go and do business, you'll see all over Nairobi CBD, we have so many stalls that are run by these same groups. And they're doing very well. They travel all the way to China. They go to Dubai. They bring in commodities. But the problem is when they come to the airport, they cannot even make a break even for profits. They've been taxed. They've been harassed. So we need to improve and give kind of incentive to those who are working hard. We give incentives to those who want to bring their commodities here. These are all Kenyans actually, they're not coming from outside. But when you want to tax a small goods that have been brought by the youth, that airport is actually becoming a place for harassing people. Investors are running away from us and going to our neighbors. So taxation does not make the country rich. So we want us to improve on the creation of employment. Actually, corruption is a cancer in this country, done with impunity. So one other thing is, Honorable Speaker, we don't know where to run to. In case now, even this parliament, when we call the corrupt people here, the governors and everybody who have been said that they have stolen money, they listen to the committee. The Auditor General brings his report. The COP brings the report. From there, it ends there. No follow-ups, no prosecution, no nothing. And the impunity continues. So I think we need to do better in this country. Honorable Speaker, what I want to tell my colleagues is, as leaders, we need to be a bit serious. We must be responsible to us, and we must be answerable to the public that elected us. This country needs heavy investment. I know there are a lot of loans that we collected without any proper planning. We need to go back to the drawing board and say how best we can be able to create jobs in this country. Learning institutions are dead. Education actually is obsolete. What we are learning today, we're hearing a lot of every year, every 10 years there's new curriculum. CBC, I don't know, 844, all these things. The neighborhood, our neighborhood, Uganda and Tanzania, the same curriculum is there. So if the curriculum has to change, we have to change to a job creation kind of, the job opportunities. That is, we tell our university guys to be able to change their curriculums, to look at the markets, the ITs, a lot of things that can at least be able to create jobs for the youth. But we're following up obsolete curriculums that will not help this institution, this country. Education actually is becoming unaffordable. It's just expensive, unnecessarily expensive. Healthcare is very expensive. Not every Kenyan can afford any treatment because everything is commercialized. You go to a pharmacy, there's no control of budget, of price. You go to a doctor's, they charge you exorbitantly. It's so expensive. So the poor man and poor lady cannot afford health care. We are being told that we're going to be given free health care. NHF almost dead. It has become now a place for getting money for the politicians. Every campaign time, people withdraw money there. Money is being misused. The taxpayer money is being misused. You pay for health care. You don't have even drugs in the hospitals. We have devolved functions for health. The money, 126 billion is given to the health, Ministry of Health now, the new budget. Where are you taking all that money? And you have only five hospitals, level 6 and 5. The rest of functions have gone to counties. And the money is being held in the National Assembly, at the national level. You have so many institutions that duplicate these functions. In the Ministry of Water, we have almost many authorities, 3 or 4. We have water agencies, and they're all doing the same functions. The county is doing water, the agencies are doing water, the authorities are doing water. Where are we going? This is the same money, the taxpayers' money. Then we have so many unfunctional regional bodies. Northern Water Board, Wajir Nini, and Southern Wasanyiro, Coast Development Authorities, so many authorities. So the money, the little money that have been put to a better place so that we can have a better output is actually divided to be stolen and for paying for wage bills, which is just unbelievable, so high. So I think with those few remarks, I want to applaud the President also, now that he has come back to his senses. Today I was hearing that there's 6 days dialoguing, where even the raila was there and everybody was there. So I think what I want to tell is that I want to tell Kenyans, please, whatever you're going to do, as much as we are suffering, we also need to think of our future, the future of this country. With those few remarks, I want to thank them. I want to support the motion. Thank you.
Senator Shakila Abdalla.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii na mimi kutoa kauli yangu.